The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. A young man stepping out of the shadow of a notorious reality TV childhood is about to trade red carpets for the unforgiving jungle. Welcome to Starscope Report.
Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
Right. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame. And for today's deep dive, we have a massive stack of sources to get through.
Oh, we really do. We're talking Us Magazine, Deadline, Perez Hilton, and some pretty wild Reddit threads.
The Reddit threads are honestly the best part. But yeah, they are all announcing the Season 5 cast of Fox's Special Forces, World's Toughest Test.
Which is premiering Thursday, September 24, 2026, by the way.
Exactly. So today, we are going to unpack this whole headline story for you. We're talking about Collin Gosselin taking on his biggest challenge yet, this completely bizarre and viral celebrity cast joining him, and honestly what this extreme reality show reveals about fame itself.
It is shaping up to be this fascinating collision of past trauma, the modern attention economy, and just extreme human endurance.
Yeah, so let's start with a bold headline here. A Gosselin goes to the jungle.
It's a huge story. To really understand what we are looking at, we have to impartially lay out the facts about Collin Gosselin. He's stepping back into the spotlight after being entirely out of the mainstream for years.
Right, and for anyone who watched TV in the late 2000s, that last name carries so much weight.
Oh, absolutely. Jon and Kate Plus 8 wasn't just a show, it was a total tabloid phenomenon. But, Collin isn't that cute kid on the couch anymore. His return is layered with some highly publicized family conflict.
Yeah, he is completely estranged from his mother, Kate Gosselin.
He is. And he has recently gone on the record with some incredibly serious allegations about his upbringing. Based on our sources, he claims that she was physically abusive, specifically stating she hid him when he was a toddler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he also alleged that she completely controlled and withheld his financial earnings from those childhood TV appearances.
That is just so heavy. And he isn't just dropping these claims in a quick interview and walking away either?
No, not at all. He is putting it all in print. His tell-all memoir, In the Shadow of 8, Surviving the Reality of My Childhood, is actually hitting stores on October 13th.
Wait, October 13th? That is just weeks after the season of Special Forces premieres.
Right, the timing of the book release alongside a major network television premiere is standard promotional strategy. But the specific vehicle he chose for this comeback is what makes it so psychologically compelling.
Yeah, because he didn't choose some glossy dating show or a celebrity dance competition.
Exactly. He chose a brutal, punitive military training simulation.
Which brings us to an irony that is just so sharp you could cut glass with it.
The Kate Gosselin connection.
Yes. Because Kate actually competed on Season 1 of this exact show back in 2023.
She did. She packed her bags, went to the desert.
And then had to withdraw during the very first episode.
Right, due to a physical injury. So now you have her estranged son walking into the very arena where she publicly failed.
And the internet is having an absolute field day with this. I was reading this massive Reddit thread about the cast announcement. And one user pointed out that referring to Collin merely as Kate Gosselin's son is, well, they called it crazy work given their history.
They're not wrong. The public is highly aware of the baggage he is carrying into this environment. Audiences remember watching him as a child, completely subject to network producers.
Yeah, and his parents' crumbling marriage.
Right. And now they're going to watch him as an adult, willingly submitting himself to elite ex-Special Forces operatives who are paid to scream at him and break him down.
See, I have to stop you there and just push back on that a little bit, because that is exactly what I am struggling to understand.
What do you mean?
Well, if your entire childhood trauma is rooted in being controlled and exploited on camera by abusive authority figures, why on earth would you sign a contract to go on a reality show where the literal premise is being controlled and yelled at by terrifying authority figures?
That's a fair question.
Isn't he just, I don't know, paying people to recreate his trauma for our entertainment? It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes of 2000s tabloid culture, sure, but is this just some psychological cleansing ritual for him?
It definitely looks like a repetition of trauma on the surface, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But the underlying psychological mechanism here is entirely different, and it all comes down to one word: agency.
Agency. Because he's an adult now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When Collin was on TLC, he had zero agency. His schedule, his environment, it was all dictated by adults. But in Special Forces, the environment is infinitely more hostile, but the consent is absolute.
Oh, I see.
He can take off his microphone and walk away at any second. By willingly enduring an environment that is objectively terrifying, he is taking control of the narrative of his own resilience.
Oh, wow. So he's basically walking into a controlled demolition of his own past.
Exactly. Proving to the public, and probably to himself, that he cannot be broken because he has already survived worse.
He is weaponizing his own endurance. I mean, rewriting the script from victim of reality TV to survivor of the most grueling reality TV ever created, that completely reframes how I look at his participation.
It really does.
But, if you think Collin's motivations are intense, that is nothing compared to the absolute fever dream of a cast he is walking into the jungle with.
Oh, the cast list it's something else.
It really is. And that's not even the wildest part, honestly. Wait till you hear who he's sharing a jungle bunker with. If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
Yes, we do. So let's talk about this cast. We can call this segment the most bizarre reality cast ever assembled.
Definitely. But first, for the listeners who haven't seen it, explain the premise of Special Forces.
Right. So it completely strips away the standard architecture of reality TV. There are no votes, no eliminations.
No confessional booths to complain about your roommates.
Exactly. And absolutely zero glam squads. The celebrities are entirely at the mercy of the directing staff, which is composed of real-world, elite ex-Special Forces operatives.
Like Rudy Reyes and Billy Billingham.
Right. And you can only leave the show in one of three ways. You voluntarily give up, you suffer an injury that needs evacuation, or the staff forces you out because you're a safety liability.
You literally just have to survive, which makes the season 5 cast list feel like, I don't know, a pop culture terrarium.
It really does.
Let's break down this surreal roster. Standing right next to Collin Gosselin, we have former U.S. Congressman George Santos.
Yeah, and just impartially speaking here, he has a very well-known political background. He's stepping fresh out of a highly publicized federal fraud case and prison time.
Straight to a Malaysian jungle.
Exactly. Yeah. And as one Reddit user pointed out, and we're just reporting the commentary here, this is his first major public gig post-prison.
Which is just, it's a wild pivot. And then right next to him, you have Brandi Glanville.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills veteran.
Right. And she has spent the last year in the news for these really bizarre health issues. I mean, she's talked about a facial tumor, and recently she claimed she contracted a parasite from her breast implants.
It's a lot to bring into a survival situation.
So you have a former federal lawmaker and a Bravo star battling alleged implant parasites. And it just keeps going. We've got Mauricio Mansky and his daughter Alexia, both from Buying Beverly Hills, competing against each other.
That introduces a really fascinating and maybe toxic family dynamic. A father and daughter used to luxury real estate, now forced to theoretically outlast each other in the jungle.
It's insane. Plus, Candace Cameron Bure, who just turned 50.
So she does post those intense plank jack workouts on social media.
That's true. She is very fit. And then we have Ruby Rose Bertisi from Selling Sunset, Matt Barnes, the NBA champ, and Olympic skater Maxi Naumov.
The internet's reaction to this lineup has been incredible.
Oh, I was howling reading the comments. One person called it a nightmare blunt rotation.
That is painfully accurate.
Another called it a list of people who always answer their phone. It's like a pop culture fever dream produced by a random word generator. But honestly, and I have to ask you this, how do producers balance the immense physical danger of the show with the massive liability of casting such a chaotic group?
Well, it makes more sense when you look at how the ecosystem of reality TV casting has shifted. 10 years ago, celebrity culture was rigidly tiered, right?
Yeah, a congressman would never be on a show with a TikTok influencer.
Exactly. But today, the internet has completely flattened that hierarchy. Prestige doesn't really matter. Visibility is the only metric. So a politician, an athlete, and a Bravo star all occupy the exact same tier of the modern attention economy.
They're all just fighting for eyeballs.
Precisely. And combining those completely disparate audiences guarantees massive ratings.
Okay, I get the marketing logic, but I still have a hard time believing a network lawyer looked at Brandi Glanville with her recent medical history and said, yeah, throw her in a jungle with ex-military interrogators.
Well, here is the secret about the liability. The producers basically outsource it to the directing staff.
Really?
Yeah. Those ex-operatives aren't just playing drill sergeants for the cameras. They are highly trained risk assessors. They can look at a recruit's pupil dilation or breathing rate and know exactly when they are approaching a lethal threshold.
Oh, wow. So they intervene if someone is actually going to collapse.
Immediately. But, and this is the darker truth about the audience, The producers know that the liability is the marketing.
Wow, the liability is the marketing.
Yeah, that morbid curiosity of wondering if these specific people are going to break a leg or have a breakdown is exactly why millions will tune in.
That is a brilliant way to frame it. And just wait until you hear what these celebrities actually have to do to generate that marketing. Later in the episode, we'll talk about the shocking twists of what it actually takes to survive this. Could this be the biggest scandal of the year? Keep listening because we are heading into the jungle.
And we really are heading into the jungle. Previous seasons were tough, testing recruits in the deserts of Jordan or the cold of New Zealand, Wales, and Morocco.
Right, but season 5 is in Malaysia.
Exactly. And from a tactical standpoint, the jungle is considered the most hostile environment a human being can operate in.
Because it's not just the tasks, it's the environment itself acting as the villain, right?
Yeah, the extreme heat, the suffocating humidity, the unpredictable terrain.
The bugs.
Oh, the insects are terrible. It creates a baseline state of severe physiological stress. Your body's just draining electrolytes before you even attempt a challenge.
Which brings us to the challenges. Because I read the official Fox press release and I thought I was hallucinating.
They are intense this year.
They aren't just carrying heavy sandbags. One task is a claustrophobic, high-pressure search of an underground bunker for weapons.
Which is a classic psychological stressor. Enclosed dark space, high heat, simulated combat. It triggers panic and strips away their facade instantly.
And then retrieving a supply load suspended 300 feet above the jungle floor. But here's the one that completely stopped me in my tracks. Enduring a barrage of chemical gassing.
The tear gas chamber.
Yes. They're putting them in a room and filling it with tear gas. How does someone like George Santos or Candace Cameron Bure function in that? What does tear gas even do to a normal person?
Well, CS gas is a severe irritant. It reacts with moisture on your skin and eyes, causing an intense burning sensation. Your throat feels like it's closing, and it triggers this involuntary panic because your brain thinks it's suffocating.
Oh my God.
In the military, it's used to test if a recruit can maintain cognitive function while their body is screaming at them to flee.
It's the ultimate anti-red carpet. I mean, on a red carpet, your armor is your ego. Your currency is your follower count, your clothes.
Or your polling numbers, yeah.
Right. But in a gas chamber, your ego cannot help you breathe. The currency in the Malaysian jungle is just sheer primal endurance. Nothing else matters.
And that is exactly what the directing staff wants. They want the systematic dismantling of the ego. They use terror and exhaustion to strip away the celebrity persona to reveal their truest character.
But that brings me to a really uncomfortable question about us, the viewers. If surviving a brutal show like this actually rehabs a controversial celebrity's image, is that a real thing? Or is this just trauma tourism for the viewers?
Sociologically speaking, it's both. The public loves a redemption arc, right?
Yeah.
But they demand a pound of flesh first. If a controversial figure suffers silently on TV and shows vulnerability, the audience might grant them a second chance.
So they basically suffer for our satisfaction.
Precisely. The network knows we harbor resentment toward extreme privilege. We want to see them reduced to basic human instincts, to realize their wealth can't buy relief from physical agony. It's the great cultural equalizer.
Tear gas really doesn't care who your publicist is, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't.
It really leaves you looking at reality television in a completely different light. Which brings us to our final lingering thought for you, the listener. As we watch this bizarre cast navigate the darkest parts of the jungle, we have to ask ourselves, does our cultural obsession with watching wealthy, privileged celebrities be put through literal torture, like chemical gassing, say more about the celebrity's desperation to stay relevant? Or does it say more about our growing demand to see the rich and famous suffer for our entertainment?
It is definitely a mirror held up to both the performer and the audience.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.